Yep.
Flap your wings.
If it happens that the human race doesn't make it, then the fact that we were here once will not be altered. That once upon a time, we peopled this astonishing blue planet and wandered intelligently and everything about it and the other things who lived here with us on it. And that we celebrated the beauty of it in music and art, architecture, literature, and dance. And that there were times when we approached something godlike in our abilities and aspirations. We emerge out of deathless mystery, and back into mystery we return. And in the end, the mystery is all there is. James Howard Kunstler.
The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto his servant John. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice, as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in a book. After this I looked, and behold, the door was opened in heaven. And the voice said, Come up hither, and I will show you things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Spirit, And behold, the throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper or a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight unto like an emerald. And before the throne was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and on it were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had the face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was, and is to come. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed in the sun, and the moon was under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in her, and pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 7 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought. Neither was his place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away from the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and for times, and for half a time, from the face of the serpent. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power, and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his daily wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, to overcome them. And power was given to him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Before in my life. There's no one before him. Nobody can conquer this. In your name.
And they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Be gay.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
No one could conquer you.
And I beheld another beast coming up from out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake like a dragon. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. And he caused all, both great and small, before free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And there came one of the angels, and he talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And on her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman was drunken with the blood of saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said, Come out of here, my people, that ye not partake of her sins, and that ye not receive of her plagues. And I beheld the kings of the earth, who committed fornication, and lived deliciously with her. And I saw the right hand of him that sat upon the throne a book written within and on the backside. Seven seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the book and loose the seals thereof?" And no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, and neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look thereon. And the angel said unto me, "Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, hath prevailed to open the book, and to loose the seven seals thereof." And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts fell down before the Lamb. And they sang a new song, saying, "Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood." And the 4 beasts said, Amen. And behold, and the Lamb opened the first seal. And I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them worshiping his image. What is that? And behold, the Lamb opened the second seal, and I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon, to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the 3rd part of the sea became blood. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. And behold, the Lamb opened the 3rd seal, and I heard the 3rd beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice say, "A measure of wheat for a denarius, and 3 measures of barley for a denarius, and see thou hurt not the oil nor the wine." And there fell a great star from heaven, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many, many men died of the waters because they were made bitter.
God, they cursed us.
And behold, the Lamb opened the fourth seal, and I heard the voice of the fourth beast saying, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And the third part of the sun was sleeping, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of the day was darkened, and power was given unto the sun to scorch men with fire. I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest until their fellow servants that should be killed as they were. And I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them were given power. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their body was to hit 5 months, and their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when it striketh a man. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And behold, the Lamb opened the 6th seal, and the angel said, Hurt not the earth, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became blood. And I saw an unclean spirit, like a frog, come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. And the 4 angels loosed I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. And behold, the Lamb opened the seventh seal, and there was silence. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And I saw a mighty angel come down from heaven, girt with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea and his left foot upon the earth, and cried with a loud voice as a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. And he said, go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel, and take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth as sweet as honey. And I ate it up, and it was in my mouth, sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. And the 7th angel poured out his vial into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, it is done.
Impromptu videography there, man. Nice work, Jason. Thanks, man. There you go.
Sharktopus.
I will now be having nightmares. Thanks, guys.
We ready to go clean now?
I don't know.
Brilliant. You're fucking brilliant.
Wait for take? Too late. No.
We can barely see you up there.
Hey, we're just getting a little archive of footage. Just trying to.
Where's Katie? Here, come on, Katie. Or Kelly.
Your thought? No?
I don't have any thoughts.
Artie, any personified thoughts in this meeting?
There's a bag.
That?
There's a bag.
That was folktale.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I'll be holding it for another hour.
Did you get all that?
Yeah. That was a good time.
Okay, I need this. Yeah, oh yeah, you might want to.
Nicely
Brilliant.
done.
It's brilliant.
I thought you were gonna have to run much for it because I cleaned the first bag, so I got Rebecca.
Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry about the sound there.
It's okay. I just went with it. I was having other malfunction.